Oh, we're live. We are
Woo.
live. Woo! I'm back.
Just arrived, you're alive.
Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm not around last week. But,
So
I'm back now. Everything's all right. It's fine. We can be serious now and talk shop. You know, it's fine.
Where were you last week? Oh, it was your anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were down in the New Forest, me and Kate, and it was awesome. Great time. Went cycling, did loads of cool stuff. Went on a boat because we were down in Lymington, you know, all that kind of stuff. I had ate loads of food, like ridiculous amounts of food. But like, we had a steak. We went to this place called Surfing Moo Moo. It was awesome.
All that surf and turf sort of
We
place.
got a 16-ounce sirloin to share, rare.
Ooh.
And then on the side we had like a side of like prawns and fish, and so it was like a surf and turf. Like it was just
Nice.
it was pretty sexy. But
I once did a really budget surf and turf when I was. In
what's
the
a
early
budget
70s.
surf and turf?
Spam and a can of tuna.
Bacon and tuna on pasta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was salty.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's good.
I usually do a surf and turf with just prawns. Usually, I think it's quite nice. But
I think that's standard, isn't it?
like garlicky prawns. The only thing I took the points away was that there was no flavour to. They didn't put it in any type of flavour. The prawns and the fish. It was just in its own juices, and I was like, well, you got to kind of put a bit of garlic with the prawns, man. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's a little bit like chicken. You need something on top of it, don't you?
Yeah, chickens. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like chicken, you got a bit of a mayo, a bit of a thing. Like that. But it's like prawns. You got to have like, if it's gonna be shellfish, you got to have some kind of flavour to go with it. You know, so because they are a bit bland. You know, those types of they're just rubbery fish.
People
Yeah.
often
Anyway.
wonder what rock bands talk about in their spare time when they're not.
Honestly,
You don't want to eat it just for the halibut.
no. But you could eat it just for the halibut. You could just eat it for the halibut.
Have you, John? Have you decided to choose the fish with the silliest name?
No, because it did remind me. Because back when I used to work at Sainsbury's, this is how bored I was. We're just back and forth, just thinking of fish puns. Just some of them just pop back in my head. You know,
What about halibut?
about halibut. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Yeah,
There's loads. You can always have like you could have my cod. Is always a good one.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a time and the place. You know.
Yeah. Time and a place. That's always a good one.
Time to rock and roll.
That's a bakery. That's a bakery pun.
Because a rock is a type of fish. Thought you
Is
said
it?
that. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
No,
Do you remember the Only Fools and Horses prequel? It was called Rock and Chips. And
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
What happened to that?
Only Fools and
What happened to that? It did
This
like
is
one
new.
series, didn't it?
That was really. It was really good.
Well.
Yeah.
There was a guy from
Was it?
what's it in between? It's played Dell. I thought he was a perfect like younger Dell.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, really good.
So it's.
Oh no,
really-
because what's the name died, didn't he? The writer of Fools and Horses. I think that's why.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was his
Not
name?
look.
Mate,
John
loads
O'Sullivan?
John
loads
O'Sullivan.
of-
That's the one.
Mate,
Sounds like
loads
a
of
car
them.
dealer, doesn't he? John O'Sullivan. Sounds like he would sell you a
Loads of them
Toyota.
have loads of them have passed on now, haven't they? The actors and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but Boise passed away, didn't he, recently? A few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. All the good ones, they die young. But David Jason's
Yeah,
still alive, so make of that what you will.
There you go. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So is Nicholas Lyndhurst. You know.
Yeah.
Great.
He's fucking old now.
Have you seen the musical?
No. Is it
I
any good?
was going to go to it. I was going to go to this month, but we had to delay it. My mate went and said it's really good. Really, really good.
I went to sitting on Back to the Future, the musical, yesterday. It's great.
Oh, was that decent?
Yeah, mate. Like I want to go and I was in the pits. I was sick. My friend's a guitarist, but I saw some of the special effects, mate. Like the car flies, it comes out and then twists around. It's like whoa, easy on.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Cool. Well,
I think it's worth a watch.
It's. I'll tell you something that's quite tricky. I mean, it would be even trickier if there were loads of people watching. But
A
for the
Rubik's
people
Cube.
that are watching, hello. Just trying to keep up with the chat on 2 platforms concurrently. It's quite tricky while also queuing everything up.
Wow. Well, do you want me to stay on the? I'm on the YouTube. You know. So.
You're still on YouTube. Okay, I'll stay on the Facebook.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah, it's
already
fine.
said hi to Luna, who's in the chat. Hello.
What? And On YouTube or Facebook?
On Facebook.
Okay, yeah. YouTube, yeah. So YouTube, yeah. Okay.
I'll
send it to you.
Facebook. Drew will YouTube. So I've started off some comments. We'll see if
Excellent.
the regulars turn up or if they've abandoned us after last week. I don't know. How could they abandon us? Look at these faces. So, John, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been alright. Nothing much.
Brilliant.
Yeah. No, I've actually been practicing some of the songs that we haven't had on our set recently, so that's been quite fun actually.
That's cool.
Getting down on those, and yeah, that's about it's about as exciting as it's been.
Yeah, cool, nice.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives everybody the incentive to tune in and find out about our interesting adventures. Well, I had a great weekend. I went to Stone Dead Festival.
You did.
I did.
Cool.
It was fucking great. I would say
Amazing.
for the whole kind of like new wave of classic rock genre that is big in the UK. To me, it's between Stone Dead and Steelhouse. It's something about the S's. Fantastic lineup. Have you played Steelhouse?
Yeah, I did play it with Inglorious, and it was great. The only thing, it was just the weather. Like for me, we were up atop of a mountain, and it was just a bit muddy, But that's about it, really. But a bit cold. I'm a bit, don't want to be picky. Beggars can't be choosers,
Stone Dead this year. The weather was phenomenal. It was like
amazing.
30 degrees. There was this really cool flyover of this old bomber. It was really cool, and man, there were some great bands on. I was lucky enough to meet a few of them.
Did you discover any bands that you were like, who are these? These are great.
I knew of all the bands, but it was the first time I had heard Stonebroken live. I quite like their stuff. They've got great sound.
Never seen them live.
Really good live. Really
Nice.
good live. Really big sound. They did a cover on YouTube a little while ago. I think it's Crawling like Linkin Park, and it really suits the dude's voice.
Cool.
But they were fantastic.
I always missed them at a festival because I used to chat to them and stuff, but we had to go or we had to move on or something like that. I just never got a chance to kind of catch their sets, or they were on before, or like, you just miss it, you're like, oh, miss them, But I've always wanted to see them because obviously they've got a certain sound about them that I would say is probably quite hard to replicate live, because it's so it'd be interesting to see what kind of take if they've just gone the way that they've gone, or if they've just gone, what, like some bands do. This is what we sound like on CD. This is what we sound like live.
I think they were, because you got the two guitarists. I couldn't really work out if it was to track or if it was one person really filling it out.
Track.
Filling out to that, but they sounded huge. I mean, the good thing is when you're watching them at a big festival like that, it's a huge PA, it's a big stage. That's what music like that is built for. And we kind of talk about that with our album. Like, it was really great when we played Just Push Play because we're on a big stage with a big PA, and you can kind of really let the sound kind of carry.
I'm
sure. I enjoyed it more because it was a big stage, and it was, what I mean. It's that sort of environment, thousands of people around you, like rocking out to it. I think you enjoy it more. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I guess it'd be different if it was in like a little pub or something like that. But
it's an atmosphere, isn't it?
But they've definitely kind of built up their following and the sound.
Yeah, they've done really well. Very well.
Really. I was there with our amazing radio plugger Emma Scott. She was interviewing them, so it was really nice to kind of hear a little bit about their process and what their things they like and loathe about the record industry.
Nice.
It was cool. These Wicked Rivers were there. I caught like half of their set because I obviously had to go and set up in the press area and whatever. But they were really good. I'm trying to think who else. The Treatment were awesome.
They've been going for a while. The Treatment, like they've had some lineup changes along the way, but they sort of seem to still
third singer. Although I think it's more settled now.
Yeah, they had that second singer for a while. He was on like some.
He was on The Voice. He was on The Voice, but unlike Nathan James, he actually got selected.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I know. Although, you know, to be fair, Nathan's had a better career afterwards. So Nathan won.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you know what? Like, I don't want to be like. I really like the treatment. I used.
You know the bass player, don't you?
Yeah. Well, the old bass player, Rick.
Oh, he's not in them anymore, is he?
No, he left. He left a few years ago. But he's such a sound dude. Like, just fucking loves music.
Yeah, cool.
You know, and the treatment, like they opened, I think, for Motley Crue and Kiss when they did the co-headline tour in the States. Like that's seriously cool. And it feels like now I'm awful with names. Like the new singer is top notch. Like
they got a good
show. They've got a great festival set, man. Like I mean, I know like all the albums. Like my favourite's probably Generation Me, which
how
ironically,
how many albums have they done? 3, 4?
I think they've done 5. I think they've
Wow.
done 5.
It's a few, isn't it?
Yeah, but they've just got such a great festival set, and like unfortunately,
Yeah,
I could
brilliant.
only see like the first 3 songs because we had to interview. Who did we interview? We interviewed These Wicked Rivers, I think, and so I only got to see like the first 3 or 4 songs from the set. But they did play Let It Begin, which is my favourite song. Which ironically, I'm not going to diss the singer that was from The Voice. He had a great voice on record, but he just couldn't. I felt like he couldn't do it live. I saw them a couple of times, and he didn't feel like the original dude. But this new guy, I mean, he's not new now. He's probably been in the band for like 4 years, but he is spectacular live. Like just such a great range, great energy.
Exactly what you want, isn't it?
Fucking rock.
There you go. That's good.
Who have we got in the chat? Drew, have you got anybody?
No.
Well, Nick Wiley, he's a DJ. He's been playing us. I think he played us this morning. I think he played Fallen.
Oh, amazing!
So, big shout out.
You play
hey Nick.
You play Fallen.
Yeah, dude.
What a ledge!
Yeah, man. He got in contact with me. I sent him the album. Sent him all the tracks. I was like, dude, play what you want. Spread the word. Grunge lives.
Did he play it with the intro?
Probably not. I would have thought not. You know, because
Best intro ever.
Yeah, it's pretty long though. Not as long as our actual intro. Well, talking about that, should we have a brief musical interlude? Should we?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Should we? Let's debut our performance of Who You Are live at Just Push Play.
I like this. This is great. This is
Yeah.
brilliant. When you showed me this earlier.
Right, let's give it a go. Let's see it. This is Who You Are.
Keep on
Boom.
How was that?
That was awesome.
Great.
Man. That's really cool.
Mate, like, it's brilliant. Like, all those camera setups. So, are they all your... That's all our cameras, isn't it?
All of our cameras.
God, that was good going. Really.
Yeah. What I would suggest, so... Oh, yeah, we're going to Poland. We've kind of talked about this a little bit. We're going to Poland. Maybe if everyone bought an action cam, so that everyone's got like a one that we can use. I'll send you guys...
You mean like a GoPro?
Like a GoPro, like this one. This one Alex got. Maybe this is a pretty cheap...
expensive.
This is a pretty cheap 4K camera. It's called an Acaso EK7000. It shoots in 4K at 30 frames per second. It's pretty decent. I think it was like 50, 60 quid. So it's really like... It's like a budget GoPro.
Can I just ask something? Do you work for this company?
I am not working for them, but what I'm hoping is, obviously, we're going on tour. We're going on tour in Poland. And we'd love to shoot more videos. You know, we shot some of that video with the Acaso EK7000. I was going to say Pro, but it isn't Pro. I'm making it up, making it sound even better than it is. I mean,
Pro, yeah.
Yeah, you know. So if anyone's watching from there, if any of the probably like 6 people who we're reaching right now, if any of you just happen to be working for that company, just give me a shout. I'd love to flog some of these. And if anybody's watching and they want one of these, if you want a budget GoPro, get one of these. These are really nice. Look how great that looks on camera. Anyway, I mean, we get a few of those. I've got all the stands. I've got some cool things as well. I mean, I don't want this to basically turn into a shopping channel, but I did also get for you guys. I've got a couple of these phone gimbals. So it's like,
cool,
on a camera, it can like track you and move you. Well, this jobby gimbal
keeps
does
it all
for your
kind of
phone.
smooth.
Yeah, it keeps it also kind of smooth. But what we can also do is, like, when we're filming some of the shots, we could set it up like to track one of us, so that the camera will move with us as we move, which would be quite cool when we're doing some of those live gigs. And we're going to be playing. But if anybody has noticed the story to our, is that our right or it's like I'm on stage, I don't know, about Ozzy Osbourne. Did you guys see Ozzy close the Commonwealth Games with Tommy Iommi?
Yeah, briefly.
Cool.
It's all bits of it. Yeah.
I felt like they might have like pumped him with like some mad adrenaline to get him to like whack out a good performance. But I was really impressed.
The problem is with that, like, I saw Ozzy a few years ago, like when I was on tour. I caught him at Sweden Rock, and it was cool and it was amazing. Actually, the sound was just like pretty monstrous, and his voice. But it's so like, I don't know if he's on track or someone's singing with him, or it's doubled. It sounds doubled or something. It sounds tripled, or it's definitely got an effect on there. It was amazing though. Like, the show was like, he was great. Like, he did his thing. I can never ever say a bad thing about Ozzy. It's like, but he has got to a point in his life where, like everyone does, he's just getting old, and he's got Parkinson's or something, hasn't he? And he's starting to kind of get to that point in his life. So of course he doesn't want to tour anymore. This is probably the last of it. But I was surprised with the Commonwealth Game things. They didn't have Geezer Butler on bass because he's retired.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, done it. So, but fair play to him. They're still going.
Also, fair play to anyone who decides to kick taking acid after talking to a horse for an hour and the horse told him to fuck off.
That's
quite a cool thing. What do you reckon they spoke about? I'm just scrolling through this article to see if there's more detail about the conversation. I mean, it obviously started. They were talking for a while, and he told him to fuck off at the end. What do you think Ozzy said to the horse to get the horse to the point of, telling him to fuck off?
I don't know. How can you even? What are the best horse insults?
Why the long face?
So.
There's what was the joke? A horse goes into a doctor's clinic, and somebody asks him why the long face, and the horse says, "I've got testicular cancer."
Wow.
Yeah, apparently something about thinking he was a skeleton. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think would myth a horse? If you had to, pick something, John.
I'd say you're looking a little bit hoarse.
And that's a little bit the same as
Yeah.
Why the long face. Your mother is a horse, which would be factually true.
Where do horses go when they're sick? The hospital.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Santa one is what's black and white and eats like a horse.
I don't
Zebra. A zebra. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we'd kind of get more comedy gold out of that one, but we seem a bit.
No, it's a bit dry on the horse puns.
It's a bit dry on the horse puns. But one thing that I have seen, which will take us back, we've spoken about them already, but if we see here, it says Stone Broken announced Christmas show. Let's see what that's all about. Because Stone Broken, we've spoken about them, they're actually our band of the week.
Absolutely.
So, they've got a Christmas show in Wolverhampton. I believe it's at KK Steel Mill.
Yeah, that venue looks great.
Actually, something we're going to be in dangerous territory, I think, because we're speaking about Stone Broken, and as always, when Inglorious come up, it's a bit. But I do know for a fact they played Nathan Fest this year.
Stone Broken.
Yeah.
Oh right, I didn't realise there was one of those. I always found one of those it sounds a bit eggy, doesn't it, the whole thing?
I mean, to be fair, if he's putting on decent bands, it might not be that bad.
Yeah, I didn't think he was putting on bands. I know it was like, we used to...
I thought it was just a celebration of Nathan.
I think it still is. I think some people are just quite... Yeah.
Woo! Tell you what, Stone Broken must be doing...
Whatever works, isn't it,
Stone Broken must be doing alright. Tickets to their Christmas party cost £22 plus fees. Fuka Duke.
There you go.
That is... I mean, I'm assuming you might get crackers. Possibly a meal. I don't think you'll get a meal, but 22 quid. It wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah.
Are you checking that? Because we were talking about their album, Revelation. Produced by Dan Weller. Of Sixth or formerly of Sixth?
Of Sixth. They're still going. They still play, but it's not like in the way that they used to. They just kind of get together every now and again, I think, and do stuff. But I think they kind of had their moment. It was 20 years ago. That's the first Six album.
Yeah.
But, or 20. It was 2003 or something. Blew my head off. But yeah, like he's an incredible producer. He's really gone on and sort of becoming a producer. Done really well for himself. He produced some of my friends' stuff like years ago, and it was mixed by Clint Murphy, who I have worked with previously when I was about 25 in a band called Cape Fear. We did that record, and Clint's from New Zealand, and he's an incredible producer, and an engineer and mixer and blah blah all that kind of stuff. So between them, they've kind of like mashed out like some massive sounding records, So good on them, really, like for getting two heavyweights to do their records, like that. It's pretty cool, pretty good going, But yeah, it's great. Like, do you want to talk about it afterwards, or talk about the track?
Well, should we have a listen? Let's have a listen to. Let's have a listen to Revelation.
Let's have a listen.
Track from the album.
Yeah.
Great video. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if we're going to get our stream taken down for a copyright violation. So
probably will.
Here we go. Let's do this.
Outside, the light departed. Now we're back to where we started. We were found on the ground, isolated and suffocated and beaten down again. Pick up the fragments of my broken bones, stitch them together to make myself whole. Under the surface, my skin starts to crawl. Take me back
we are back, minus Drew Lowe. Oh, here he is. Here he is
Sorry.
now.
Found it. Sorry.
Oh,
fine.
yeah, we've just got... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Stream's been temporarily blocked. Oh, no, maybe we're back. Oh, we're back now. I don't know if it got blocked or not. But,
Did it get blocked?
Not sure. It might have been. It might have been. But anyway, that was Revelation by Stonebroken.
Great song.
Fucking
Yeah, it's really cool, man.
massive sound.
Ah, it's huge. Like the mixing, like the production is just, you know, it's well recorded. It's well, you know, it's well everything. So it's like, there you go. That's what you get. That's what you get when you pay money. Stuff like that. You know,
When you-
it's
When you play with
Yeah.
the big boys.
well, yeah, and you know that's what happens. You get into those studios, and you got big studios to play with, and good production, and a producer there going, play this, and don't, and maybe don't play that, and it's great, you know, and it really shows, you know.
You can see also like the maturity of the
detail.
songwriting. It's just getting better
Yeah.
and better, you know.
Yeah, it's pop rock, you know. It's that kind of in that vein of what we were saying, like that American type. It's got that Nickelbacky style, like to it clearly, but
Who
clearly the
is
fans
it
there,
you-
but that's okay, you know.
Who was
that's-
it you
that's cool.
said it was a bit like, John? What was the name of the band?
Oh, some of the Puddle of Muds singer was Scantlin.
Okay.
Wes
Right.
Scantlin.
When I checked
How,
out some. Sorry?
how old do you think he looks now? Because he looked old 20 years ago.
He did now.
I always thought he was like really old, like then, but he's probably about 24. But that's not the point. But when you're 16, it's
I
like-
think he's about. I think he's like 50 now. I think.
Oh, was he a bit older at this time then? Was he like in his
Yeah.
30s? 30s when he sort of made it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, Stonebroken, great band. You know, they've been on the circuit for a while. They've smashed it. You know, they're kind of way in. I remember because Matt was talking about it. It was my mate Matt. He was a singer of a band called Colour and Noise, and they broke up. They were supposed to be opening. Do you remember? Is Rambling Man still going? Rambling Man Festival.
I think
anyway, yeah, it was. They were supposed to open the stage, the main stage, and they had to pull out because the band broke up. And then he said the band that took their place was Stonebroken, and that was the kind of thing that kind of, was like a really good platform for them. And from there, they just kind of gone strength to strength. Really, they're sort of a headlining band now. They're not. They were kind of
22 quid a ticket. They're not fucking about. They're smashing it.
You know, that's what it is, isn't it? You know.
I'll tell you what though, the thing is, everything's getting more expensive, and
Oh, fuck
you know,
yeah.
if you're doing like an end of year show, actually what's cool about that, you got a following, and you can put on that sort of next level of show. Like one of the things
Yeah.
at Stone Dead, that those damn crows, who were, for me, they were the best band of the week of the night. They were unreal. But it was quite funny, like they were talking on stage about now they've got a lighting guy and they're going to the next level, and they absolutely are. Like they had a new tune called, I think it's called Wake Up, which was really, really cool. Like, you know, when you watch a band play a song and they go, this is a new one, and you know the song by the end of the song. It's like,
it was, yeah.
yeah, and man,
It's really good writing. Yeah.
I think it's got Shane, the front man. He is, I mean, he's got the voice, but like I didn't realise, because I'd only listened to them really on the CDs, and I'd seen them once or twice before, and I'd never seen him sit behind a piano. He was fucking amazing.
I
Like
did a piano song. Good.
did piano song, did is it BU? He
They
did
always
that on the
remind me-
guitar. Great band.
They remind me, some of their music, it's like of a band that I used to like in the 90s called Live, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Some of their music kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I think they're like kind of our age maybe. They might be a bit, they're not young, like i.e. like they're not 21, like, you know, they're certainly in their mid to late 30s, I think. And so they probably are from that kind of era a little bit. Like when you listen to their music and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, probably. I don't know how old the guys in Stonebroken are. But
They're probably a bit younger than us, I reckon.
probably early 30s or late 20s,
Yeah,
early
I
30s.
think
But,
so.
but you know, they're great. You know, it's all great. You know, it's amazing production, amazing. They sort of they've taken the Nickelback flag and sort of brought it in their own way to England, you know, which is great, you know. So.
Well, you know, talking about great production, just gonna show everybody at home what Drew's been up to.
Yeah.
He's been up to.
I want to see this.
Well, I mean, you have to watch it on lag, but here
That's
it
right,
goes.
we'll watch
Here
it
he
on
goes.
lag.
Here is
Here we
Drew building his own recording studio. There we go. It's probably on quite a lag. It's playing now, so you'll
I'm not
have
going to get
watch
to
it
see it
another time. But
I might watch it in the
basically-
corner. I'm just going to shrink down the thing and put it to the size. I want to see it. Like, I'll be like, I might just go a bit like
yeah,
that in a minute.
a little
Spit
slow watching, but it looks awesome, man.
It does, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's like it's taking its. You know, there's some other pictures there that I'm missing some pictures for some reason when I sent them to you today. But well, I tried to do a bit of a time lapse, but it's really hard. And there was a bit like we sort of put it up, and then we realised we got it wrong. And if you noticed the video, and then we brought some down again.
So what
for
I
God's
did,
sake, like, you know.
what I did, Drew, actually, you've just incriminated yourself because I actually cut that out of the video
Ah,
to
bless
spare
you.
your blushes. But
I don't mind. It's fine. Like even today, like you're just going like through this instruction book, going like, right, what goes next? You know, right, the roof goes next. You know, and to be honest, it's not as bad as what people think. It's a Meccano set. You know, you slide it all in. It's like sticker bricks. You know, you just slide it all together and stuff. But it's just it's one of those things where we got it for a really good price, and it was like, it'd be great. And we put a concrete base in the other day, you know, and I can't believe we've got it all up pretty much. The only thing we've got to put up is the water, the what's it called, the
gutter.
Sorry.
not the gutter, the roofing, the felt, the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
over there. Yeah, we got a load of that, and then that'll be it really, and everything else is just kind of sort it all out inside. You know, the rest of it is kind of done. Oh, we got to put the door handle on. That's it. Yeah, things like that. But
What are you going to do for soundproofing? Or
well, I just said it right. Like I don't know yet. Like I need to get. Kate's got a friend who's an acoustic engineer, so I think she's going to come down and have a look because it needs to be sorted out. Because at first I was just going to completely like put a layer of, you know, soundproof rock wool and then put some plasterboard or pinboard over it and things like that. But the problem is I really like the wood. It's really nice. So what I may do, it's more about acoustic treatment because I don't think it's going to be too loud because I'm not going to have drums in there and things like that. So what we're going to do is try and have it all kind of treated acoustically. So I'll put up. I think the first things first is put like we talk about getting Persian rugs, not real ones, but like do you know what I mean? Like to soak up some of the sounds. You put them over the walls, you put them over the things, and wicked. There you go. So I'm just watching the video. Oh, that's like the starting point when I was like. Just digging holes and things like that. Yeah. And that's where it started. Then it got to there. Then it got to there you go. It got to there. Sorry, just watching the thing now. When I'm narrating it, even though everyone's probably seen it already, so it's fine.
You're about 5 minutes late.
I know, mate. The lag on this today is like mental. Like it's quite late. Anyway, and so we found this thing on Robert Dyer's and stuff like that. And it's just brilliant. They do all sorts of sizes. You know, you should check it out. They do, and they just happen to be doing it. It's about 38 mil thick. So it's quite thick. You know, you think about it, like 4 centimeters, pretty much almost. That's quite chunky. But soundproofing wise, yeah, I'm going to see first. I'm going to just do a test with it before we start trying to soundproof it properly because it might not need to, and it might just mean that. I just have to treat it acoustically, and I think a lot of that, when you start doing that, soaks up a lot of that anyway. So it you know, it shouldn't be like pissing too many people off because I haven't got a drummer in there, and I'm going to build like an ISO booth for singers or
Have you seen
and my amps.
Hang on, I've got to find this. I've got to find this ISO booth that's ridiculous. For singers, and I think Seal endorses this. Hang on, I'm gonna. I'll show you guys. Here we go.
What's that?
ISOVox. So it's a little box you put on your head and sing into. I don't
That's
know if
mental.
you can. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, like it says. Well, this is actually ISOVox 2. So there was an original one, and then maybe they just thought, let's make the box bigger. Maybe the box was too small, or maybe the box was too big. I'm not sure. But it's a portable vocal booth that you can record anywhere with. You can sing without disturbing your neighbours. I remember this. I've seen this video. I'm going to play it. It's a bit small, but...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the sound isn't playing, but there's actually a song.
Is there? All right, I can't see it. I have to wait for the lag.
And it's just him getting attacked through the wall by his neighbour for singing.
Wow.
And apparently he met a Martian who introduced him to ISOVox. He's done everything.
I'm going to have a look at this. One sec. ISOVox. One sec.
Because I can't see yet, but I'm guessing is it a little bit kind of like like the shopping channel. They make
No,
something that should be really easy, but make it like
They sell it in studio spares.
cracking an egg is.
Oh my god! Look at that.
I'm gonna put it on pause because just go and watch it. Right, go and watch it. It's pretty funny. It's probably not as funny now, but yeah. Testimonials. Seal. One of your favourites, John.
I do like a bit
Love
of
it
Seal.
still.
Oh, great
Mate,
voice.
Kiss from a Rose.
Oh, mate.
Great song.
I love it though. Like they've got 3 people who are giving it a testimonial, right? All give it 5 stars. That's great. You got Seal, who says, irrespective of whether you may be on vacation, where you're in a room and it's got lots of reflections, or a room that is perhaps not ideal for recording vocals, you can now create your own environment with ISOVox, and it's just a game changer. And it was the missing piece in location recording for me. And then it says at the bottom, 25+ million records sold, because he is a fucking baller. Then you get Luke Pimentel, who is a recording engineer and records for major label artists. Then you get a bloke called Rumi, who he just records in his ISOVox, and he's a YouTube musician. I mean, he's got 300+ million views, so he's kicking our ass. I think we just passed, I want to say, actually no. For a split second, I went completely mad and thought we'd have 500,000 YouTube views, but that's impossible. I would know about that if we did. Wow, 6 million subscribers. That's pretty good. Who is this Rumi man? Maybe we should check him out on a future episode. I was just gonna say, like, it felt like the testimonials were declining in gravitas, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are fans of Rumi who are like, who's this Seal bloke? It'd be strange if it was. To me.
Sounds a little bit like the time I met at work. Someone said, talk about music, and they said, talk about John Lennon, and they go, no, excuse me, it's John Legend.
Amazing.
I swear I've brought this up in the live stream already, but I remember when Kanye West did the collaboration, I think it was with Rihanna and Paul McCartney. And I remember in the comments there were some people going, don't you think Kanye's so great, even giving these old dudes a chance to be famous?
Really?
Yeah.
Like, people just have no idea who McCartney
About
is.
Macca. Unreal. How can you not know who
The
Macca
thing
is?
is, man, we're in a generation now where they don't. You know, why would they? Well, they don't want to know who Macca is. You know, it's not. He's not on the radar. I mean, he is, but it's not.
Joke's on them, though.
You know.
You know?
Yeah, but you get kids out there like, you know, doesn't the singer from the Foo Fighters look like the drummer from Nirvana? Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
He does. Why do you think that is?
Why do you think that is? Oh, because he is him. Because he does look different. Grohl looks, you know, he's got a beard and
Now he's old.
He's in his 50s, and he's not, doesn't look like a 22-year-old anymore, you know. It's like, you forget Nirvana's like 30 years ago, so it's like 30 odd plus years ago, so it's like, we're into that kind of thing now, where you're like, oh shit, like, you know, so
Yeah.
it's bonkers, you know, but that's what it is.
Shall we whack some more music on?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Let's check out. So this is a weird one, isn't it? Like bands that change their names.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you feel about bands that change their names, John?
I think John.
Oh, I mean, you can jump in, Drew.
I find it weird when bands do that. I've seen it happen a couple of times, and I don't know. Like, if you've already done an album with your name on it, it's a bit tough. But if you suddenly just change the name,
the Stone Temple Pilots did, didn't they? They were Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, they got signed as Mighty Joe Young, but the album came out as Stone Temple Pilots, which is mental, because when you think about it, it's like, apparently there's artwork. The artwork was done. There's a core album cover with Mighty Joe Young on it.
Let's see if we can find it.
I don't know. I don't think it ever got released. Like Dean DeLay was saying, it was all done, and it was like right at the end. Apparently, there was like a blues band called Mighty Joe Young, and he already had like and he was going to sue them and all this kind of stuff. And I was surprised, like Atlantic just went go away. But no, apparently so. But they were called Mighty Joe Young.
I don't know if this could be it.
If they did the core album cover with Mighty Joe Young,
it says Stone Temple Pilots, Mighty Joe Young. Discogs. Let's see what this is. I don't know if maybe they released something called Mighty Joe Young.
I think they maybe demos or something, but like.
So it looks like this is some sort of. It's a live album. So okay, they probably celebrated that by releasing a live album in Italy called Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
but
with that in mind, let's listen to Cages for Preachers, not the Time Outs. Cages for Preachers, and their tune, Let Me In. And I will just say, right, although they have changed their name to Cages for Preachers, there are many people who maybe after watching this will be confused because they haven't changed the name on the video. But here we go. Cages for Preachers, Let Me In.
I'm just
That was the tight Cages for Preachers with
almost.
Let Me In. So before they were Cages for Preachers, they were the Timeouts, and we had the pleasure of playing a few shows with them in March. It was awesome. Great to hang out with them.
Yeah, great guys.
As a band, I think we just want to apologise for the fact that they weren't the best attended gigs, but they were some of the most fun. And we even ended up being able to film the video for So Yeah. In Glasgow. I don't want to... Would it be libel or slander? It would be slander because it's not in print. I don't want to slander anyone, so I won't say anything about the venue in Glasgow. But I will say to all bands out there, if you're offered a gig in a vegan cafe, turn it down, please, for your sake.
Sound advice, dude.
Or just anything to do with vegans, just turn it down. You know?
Oh, mate, come on. That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
That is a bit harsh, yeah, sorry. There's no need for that.
That is a bit harsh. I mean, do you remember when we had those vegan burgers when you all stayed around my house? And they were actually really, really nice.
No, you never told me about this.
No, dude, you were there. Do you remember my first place in Nottingham? You guys all stayed round and we had vegan burgers, and the next day my arse was just doing some terrible, terrible things in that garage. So, you know, I mean, it's great and all if you're vegan and you reduce the amount of methane in the environment because cows aren't there's not going to be as many cows. They're going to not be farting or whatever. It's, you know, not going to drill a huge hole in the ozone layer. However, it might actually be that the amount of gas coming out of human beings' arses might just balance that out. So I'll stick with the burgers. Thanks.
Yeah. I was having this conversation the other night with someone on Saturday, and we were talking about all this kind of stuff. And obviously, I don't want to get into like deep about it, but a conversation came up about chickens. Like, if none of us ate chickens, the actual chicken, like if they were just chickens free or whatever, like there wouldn't be any chickens alive, because it's only because we breed them for eating. But as a race, they wouldn't like as a species. As a race, sorry, as a species, sorry. They would kind of be extinct.
I mean, where do they actually originate from? The chickens. I mean, actually in the wild.
What do you mean?
That's what I mean. Like in the wild, they'll be fucked, wouldn't they? Because like the food chain wise, like foxes and.
So I had an interesting discussion with a vegan about this, and they were like, "Yeah, it'd be great because then we would just, we wouldn't be killing animals." I go, "Yeah, but like you said, Drew, if we just stop tomorrow, what do we do with all those old animals? You're going to kill all of these animals." And this dude said to me, "Yeah, but they're not really real animals, are they?" I'm like, "Whoa." So, because like they're just man-made animals, aren't they? And I'm like, so do you like
That's
really dislike
level.
these animals? I just found it really like, it was like the 1,000-yard stare of a stone-cold killer when he was talking about it. I was like, wow.
I think me and Kate, we're talking about. I think we're going to get a couple of chickens for the back garden.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, because they're really low maintenance, and you get a nice, good quality egg out of it. You know.
Yeah. Do you just get one a day?
I don't know, but you shouldn't have to force them. Do you know what I mean? They'll be like, look, in your own time. You don't have to
if they want to lay eggs.
Yeah, we'll get like a nice. Because my next door neighbour's got ducks, and he's got chickens, but he hasn't got the chickens at the moment. He's got ducks. They're lovely. They're black ducks, and you think they're lovely. And he's got like a pen for them, and it's really nice. And with chickens, like my mates had chickens and stuff. You can pick them up for like £3. They're like and we're going to get a pen and like a coop, and all that kind of stuff. And I think it'd be quite good to.
That's a good question, actually, Drew. How many days would you tolerate no eggs before you got really pissed off?
I don't have eggs every day, so maybe about a week. Like I'll be like, look, you should have ovulated by now.
Yeah, taking a piss.
Yeah.
Drew, are you sure getting chickens is a good idea if you've got a recording studio in your back garden? Because, like, what if we're doing vocals and like the chicken starts like making lots of noise?
No, but right, I'm not going to get like a cockerel, mate. Right,
Well, do you need a cockerel to like make them ovulate? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah.
Because I thought that was the whole thing. You have like a cockerel there just to get them all broody, so they pop them out.
No. No, I don't think so. I think you just got to have a couple of chickens.
Do you reckon Alice in Chains?
You've got to let them out and, and do all that kind of stuff.
Do you reckon Alice in Chains were keen chicken owners?
What? Oh, Rooster. Yeah. I see what you did there.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's not really a good joke if it takes that long to land.
Anyway,
Shame,
let's talk
really.
about what we do. We talk about the time apps. Do you want to talk about that song?
Yeah, talk about the time apps. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, they were great. Like they were really good lads. Very young lads. But I think the song's great. They've got potential and stuff. And like Rod, like you said, you think it's a cross between like Arctic Monkeys and Arctic Monkeys and Soundgarden. I mean, I don't know if that's where they were going with it, but that's the way it probably certainly comes across.
Do you know what I find quite interesting though? Is it's like because they're on grunge pop records, but actually, like when you see them live,
They're not grunge.
I would say they're not grunge. They're like Let Me In has that kind of grungy element, but it's probably one of the softest songs that they've got. They're actually pretty heavy. They're more metal, I would say. There's definitely that
listen
influence.
to early Soundgarden. It's not really grungy. It is just a bit metal.
I mean, they were basically, creating grunge, weren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Grunge is just a generic term, though, isn't it? All those bands sound totally different. But
I can't remember. There was some sort of parody where they were doing like a parody of grunge, and they called it dirge.
Dirge.
Just dirge.
Well, do you remember the it's not is it Day Today when they did the Nirvana spoof?
Yeah,
song, do you remember that?
Panty Smile. Yeah.
That's the one now.
Yeah.
They had some. I mean, Brass Eye. They had some really good ones. Do you remember J.L. Bate?
Oh God, yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's not talk about Brass Eye now. Man.
Oh, come on.
Brass Eye.
Do you know, I think we should do a segment where maybe we put up a classic comedy clip. Because, I mean, we're just a ride, we're obviously, just from our name
Edgy.
alone, we're edgy and we're mad into comedy. Bill Hicks, it's great man. And may his message live on through our music. And God, could we do with him now?
Jeez, yeah.
Absolutely. He would be like having a field day, wouldn't he? He would be like, oh my word, what is happening?
Oh, mate, I reckon he'd be smashing it on TikTok.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon. I mean, if he came, like, if there was like a Hicks now, because he was a little bit under the radar. Like, I don't think Hicks would be on. I don't think he'd be on like mainstream television. I think he'd be growing his own thing. Bringing on.
We had that whole thing with Letterman, didn't he?
Yeah. He was on Letterman.
It was
to be fair.
Quite nice, wasn't it? They did. I think it was about. No, there was a thing. I can't remember the exact details. It was. They cut him from his last.
Yeah,
performance
the last
on Letterman.
performance when he was dying. But with all due respect, like Letterman nobody knew Hicks was dying. Right? So you have to wonder if he had told everybody, would Letterman have cancelled? Would they have made that decision? Like it isn't really. I mean, it's a shitty thing to do, but it was quite
nice afterwards though, because they finally released it, didn't they? And brought his mum. Brought his mum on to Letterman and released his final show. That was quite nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It was good. Fucking. Yeah, I mean, if you're a big fan of Bill Hicks, you'll love our set for the there's probably about 14 seconds of Hicks talking in our set, isn't there?
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, we need to get some. And the cool thing about Hicks is his albums were a combination of music and comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had some. I wasn't a massive fan of his music. It was a bit Muzak-y, but it was just bringing the segments together. It was quite cool. Maybe we should try that. Maybe we should. I mean, actually, what we're doing is we're doing a reverse of Hicks, where his albums were predominantly comedy with a little bit of music going through, whereas our albums are predominantly music with a little bit of Hicks. So we're inverted Hicks. Would that be Bill Hicks spelt backwards?
Hill Bix.
I don't think that.
I don't know.
I don't think Hill is Bill. Anyway, yeah. I would write it down and try and pronounce it, but I think that's a different.
I always get it all kind of like, it's really close to like Bill Bixby from like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a character or was that the name of the actor?
That's the name of the actor.
Yeah.
Who played Bruce Banner. You know.
Wasn't there one where he wasn't called Bruce Banner, he was called David Banner?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I get really confused. It might have been.
Yeah, I think they changed the name.
They have changed the whole name.
Do you know
one's
what I
David
think?
Banner, one's Bruce Banner.
Do you know what I think would be really, really, really cool? If in the MCU, the computer-generated Incredible Hulk, rather than looking like Mark Ruffalo, looked like Lou Ferrigno. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
I think Lou Ferrigno's Hulk is way scarier. It's like, whoa. Because it's like a real dude, like green. I used to watch that as a kid all the time. I used to love it, that show, The Incredible Hulk. Like, I think it was the 70s or 80s. I think it's 80s.
70s, 80s, yeah. Have either of you been watching She-Hulk?
No, no, I don't want to watch that. It looks
Why
horrendous.
not?
It's a
Why
TV,
not?
it's a show. I thought it was a film. I was like, oh, God.
It
It just
like,
looks a bit...
It's like
they're just
50% good, 50% cringe.
Proper raking the... Proper getting the dosh in on this, like, how... They, for me, this whole thing has gone too far.
What? The Marvel Cinematic Universe?
It's stupid. It's just like, what is going on? I'm so lost. Like, to me, Avengers Endgame is the
That
end.
was it. It was perfectly named. It's the end game.
It's the end game. And, like, the problem is, it's like, we're just going on and on. We're doing WandaVision and fucking the Winter Soldier, and it's just going on and on and on. And I don't know. There's like another Doctor Strange, it's like the metaverse.
Oh,
mate.
God, that is
God, it's just like
rubbish.
It looks horrendous.
I tell you what, like, that film is so... I mean, it's a weird one because, like, visually, it is pretty cool.
Of course.
It's got great actors, right? But I heard, I don't know if this is true, but that it was being written while it was being filmed, and
Yeah,
you can
probably.
tell.
A lot of films are.
And there's a 5.5 hour dissection of it that's just gone up on YouTube, which seems to be like getting a lot of traction at the moment. And it is like, I've only watched a little bit of it, but like, you realise how bad it is when somebody is like scene by scene going, this just doesn't make sense. This is crazy. Why are they writing like this?
It's money. It's deadlines and money. That Marvel, they don't know when to stop. And the problem is, the best films in the world know when to stop. You know, like Nolan with Batman. He could have easily just gone, let's do another 5. And I bet you he got offered to do another one. I bet you he did. And he probably just gone, no, it's a trilogy. Like, it's not about the money. It's about, I've got enough money, don't need to do it again. When companies like Disney and all that get involved with all this kind of stuff, just like Star Wars. Now Disney own Lucasfilm. George Lucas would have never have done this because it's not. It's like he would have just got to a point and gone, "I've done the films. There's nothing more to say."
But do you know what's really really interesting about it though? Is like the thing I like most about Disney Plus is all the documentaries about how they build rides in a theme park or how they make films. And there's a really interesting documentary about how they made Frozen 2, because obviously I've got like young kids, so we've got Frozen 2 on fucking repeat. It's good, but it's a good film. But it's really interesting looking at how, especially with a computer generated film, you have so much scope to kind of change things, and that process seemed to be really, really, really fluid. So like, I think the documentary starts maybe 18 months or a year out from release, and I think up until like 3 months to go, they're still like debating, well, what should we do with this part? We can regenerate different things. We can actually change the story. And the thing is, and that's a really interesting thing as well, is that they kind of write the story by committee. So there are writers that are writing a story, and then they make like a demo version of the movie that people watch, like let's say every month, and then they get feedback from this committee, and then they make the changes, and they move on and on and on. Now, for an original IP, or for a, in the case of Frozen, okay, it's original IP they own, so they can pretty much do whatever they fucking want, because there's no history other than what they have made, right?
Yeah.
You've kind of got free reign to do those kind of things, and with only one film to watch, people can kind of understand like the characters' motivations and this, that, and the other. But it sounds like, or it feels like, that they've adopted that mechanism that works really well for doing the animated movies that they're creating, and they're creating original stories. Kind of feels like they're probably doing that with Star Wars and Marvel. So the question is, it's like when you've got, the MCU is on 28, 29, 30 movies. There's all of this canon. And it's the same with Star Wars. There are all of these movies where this stuff in the past has happened. If you've got a committee of people that are making suggestions and dictating where the story is going to go, what are the odds that everybody on that committee has seen every film and understands the continuity? That's why there's probably these massive continuity errors. Or like, in the case of Doctor Strange, he makes decisions that are like so different from the Doctor Strange in previous movies, and especially in his own film, that you're like, is this a different person? Or like, does he not remember his own film? And it's like, because it isn't like, a person with a vision. It's not like, I don't know, Peter Jackson doing Lord of the Rings, which Drew knows nothing about.
Because that's another episode, so we'll talk about that later. But going back, which they've milked that as well. But going back to it's like the Nolan thing. It's his vision, so they've just gone, that's what we're doing. But when it all becomes, it's a day. I'm surprised they haven't gone to town on DC so much, but they.
It's probably because they're incompetent.
Yeah, and they've started to a little bit, and those films were a bit crap as well. Like the joke, the when it
Justice League.
Oh god, it's all getting a bit like that now. So I'm like that's enough. So for me, Batman is a standalone. It doesn't integrate well in those big CGI movies. It's like Batman.
Did you see the Robert Pattinson one?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, I loved it. I
still haven't seen it.
It's dark. I want it to be darker. I want Batman to be an 18. I want to see an 18 because it's still a 15. I want to see an 18.
I was going to say,
really heavy.
Aesthetically, I'm not sure if the Batman could have been darker. I wouldn't have been able to see what was going on the screen.
No, but I mean, as in the story, make the characters
I thought it was pretty dark.
I
loved it.
Yeah, no, it is. But I mean, really go to town. But they'll never do an 18 movie of a Batman. I mean, they were kicking off. My mate works at the cinema, and he was saying parents were coming in with their kids, with their costumes Batman. Can we go watch Batman? It's like, don't think it's really for you. And they were like, well, and they were kicking off, being like, my kid wants to see Batman. It's like, well, when he's 15, he can go see Batman, but right now, legally, he cannot. So
has any of you seen not the TV series, like a reboot, but the Watchmen?
Yeah,
that was good.
See,
a lot of people hate that, but I mean, talk about a really dark comic book movie. I think that probably tops it.
My issues, I had 2 issues, right? The first one, yeah, pretty much. I thought it was all right, right? The first issue was that, was it Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who was the comedian? He played the comedian throughout all of his scenes, even though in the scene where he attempts to rape Silk Spectre, I believe in the comics he's meant to be 16. So that was a bit of a suspension of disbelief there, because he was probably about 40, and they didn't do anything. They didn't de-age him. They didn't put makeup on him. They just were like,
yeah,
which miffed me a little bit. And also they changed the ending. So I see why they changed it. It was kind of like, it was smartish, but I just wish they'd made it as is. And the thing that really disappointed me is I thought when the series Watchmen came out, they were gonna do like a 10-part version of Watchmen that could be, have the detail in it that the book has. And then I don't know if you saw the series of Watchmen, but that was gash. It had nothing to do with Watchmen. Yeah. It was like somebody had an idea for a story that they couldn't get finance for. They bought the rights to Watchmen and they went, make my story, it's about Watchmen, and they just did something completely different. It was fucking shit. But anyway, right.
On that note, we need to finish up, I think, because it's getting a bit like we're going.
We're just getting into comic books. So essentially, this stream is devolving into music, comedy, and comic books. Maybe that's what this stream is about. Yeah, because it's what we end up talking about all the time. And
it's just because it's the normal bank on
Partridge.
Drew's hatred of vegans.
I don't hate vegans. It's fine.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I could clip something in that would make it sound like you hate vegans.
I bet you could. Yeah.
Right.
Come
Good
on.
night.
Let's leave it there.
Right. See you later. See you next Tuesday.